Hello everyone, this is Joe from Chill Team, and I just wanted to give you a quick heads up, little mini announcement that we have launched our t-shirts and dice over our merch store on chillteam.co.uk/shop. We're shipping worldwide, and this is currently the only way for you to support the podcast if you so wish, and you'll get a very high quality t-shirt in return or some custom Chill Team dice, and you can see more info about all those over on the website. Head over to chillteam.co.uk/shop. Just to warn you before we start this podcast does contain adult language. If you've listened to the other ones, it's just the same as that, but thought I'd better start giving you a little warning before, just in case you've got the kids in the car or whatever. So there is bad words coming up, just to let you know. Welcome to Chill Team. My name is Joe, and today I'm joined by a bevy of guests. That is right, there's a load of people on this episode, which I'll get into in a second, because this is not a normal episode. This is not a battle report. This is actually a Q&A that we haven't done in quite a while, but not only is it a Q&A, it is a Q&A that involves multiple people. It's not just me talking to myself for the first time. So instead, what we actually have here is a Q&A featuring the entire Chill Team roster. So basically, if you guys don't know, if you're new to the podcast, Chill Team is normally a Kill Team Battle Report podcast. It's your only place to find audio-focused Kill Team Battle Reports for when you're on the go or your eyes are otherwise occupied. However, we do like to, every now and then, do little extra episodes where we sit down and talk about stuff, or we have a Q&A, or there's a tournament recap or something like that. And this is a Q&A. This is all questions that you guys have sent in for us to answer. And I'm going to let you in on a little secret, little look behind the curtain. This was actually recorded quite a while ago, like a month ago. However, we didn't want to condense a load of episodes that weren't battle reports, so I decided to leave it until now. So I'm just throwing that out there, and mainly so that you know, if you've sent a question in within the last month, that is why it's not on it. It's because it happened before that. So yeah, there's not really much else to lead into this episode. I just want to let you know that if you're listening to this on YouTube, you can find us on whatever podcasting app you prefer, and also you can leave a rating and a review wherever that may be, and we would very much appreciate if you could do that. You can also follow us on Instagram at ChillTeamPod, as well as Twitter at ChillTeamPod, and you can find us on our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/ChillTeamPod. You can talk with other listeners over there about the latest episode and things like that, or, you know, all things Kill Team, basically. And with all that said, I'll just cut away to a quick word about our sponsor before we get into the episode itself. Guys, this podcast is sponsored by Versatile Terrain. And Versatile Terrain, if you do not know, are the company that make those custom nameplate sticks on our miniatures, in our photo. They have 3 different designs to choose from. They do all different sizes. And they have over 15 fonts to match your army's thing. Obviously, we are talking about custom made to order items here, so there is a bit of a waiting list. So get over there as soon as you can. versatileterrain.co.uk for the most essential. So our first question, what colour are orcs? I'll throw that to Reese.
They are green. Often green.
Ding, ding, ding.
That's 10 points. Good. Right, that's me done.
Welcome to the official Chill Team Orc Q&A session.
I thought you said pork. Sorry.
This is the pork Q&A. I'm vegetarian, so I'll sit over there for this one. Welcome to Chill Team. Been a while. Been a while since we did a Q&A.
I think it's the first all four of us Q&A. It's usually
just me.
Joe and A.
Yeah. Yeah. Normally we just it's like I do it if we can't make a proper episode, battle report. Just sling me in answering some questions. But we're all here, which we've told people we would do every time.
Yeah,
every time we've done a Q&A, it's been all four of us will be there.
We've actually all been together quite a lot recently.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice for
since we've all left our jobs and took up Chill Team full time.
Well, since the 4 million views.
Who needs to work?
Well, I'm quite upset that it's not monetized because I did leave my job. But, yeah, I'll be grovelling for that back soon.
And you need to buy a new towel. Is that why?
I'd buy something else.
Yeah, I'm going to buy something else.
Yeah, you're not going
Get some Crute instead.
No. I told you, Crute's the way to go.
There are high demand on this podcast. You need to get some Crute.
We did get
that £50 voucher you got. Get some bloody Crute.
I am definitely not spending £50.
Last time we had a Q&A, someone asked if we were going to do a cute
Crute?
A cute kill team.
A cute kill team. Crute kill team, and I said yes. Well, that was a lie.
I guess you'll have to take some money out of your own wallet.
Oh no, you just made a bunch of mugs.
Yeah,
I'll say it now. I'm never going to make a Crute kill team.
Ooh. Don't worry, I'll buy the Crute kill team.
There we go.
Yeah, you fucking buy all the kill teams as well.
He loves the new army. He loves the new army.
There, like.
You wait to see what's coming.
If you can convert them all to look like My Little Pony figures, that'd be incredible.
That would be a cute kill team.
No,
that would be Crute. Some pink Crute.
Pink Crute.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
But anyway, that was a question on last Q&A.
Yeah.
That wasn't even on this.
We
Q&A.
finally got to it.
Yeah.
We've addressed that
with the real answer. Because the last one was a lie. Should we just start? Should we just go straight in?
Dive in.
We've got a couple of rules questions. We've got a couple of just general questions, podcast questions, life questions, all sorts. I think we should talk about some Tao.
If you want. Don't know much about them, to be honest. I think that's
I don't fully know what this person's trying to get out of this question, to be honest, because it seems pretty straightforward to me. But we have been asked what a mobile shooting towel list would look like. Now, I kind of feel like...
I know it. I know what it could be.
I kind of feel like that's all that towel are, though, isn't it?
Mobile shooting?
Yeah.
No, but I think he means like moving around and still shooting.
Oh, okay, so moving around more than normal.
Yeah, because usually it's quite a static gun line. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So for that, the main ones that you'd probably want to take would be stealth suits.
Okay. They got a hefty movement then, if they what they got?
Well, they have the fly keyword.
Big.
They have target lock, which means that they can advance and still fire their weapons without any penalty.
Nice.
Good blasters.
Yeah.
-1 to hit as well, are they?
Yeah, and they're -1 to hit. So
tasty.
you're shooting at them.
What points are we talking?
They're probably around, I think they're around 25 points or something like that.
That's pretty good.
They got a couple of wounds as well.
Yeah, they got 2 wounds. They're pretty good. Free up save as well, I think. Or not. I don't know. I think they might.
Maybe.
I can't remember.
3 or 4.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Yeah. But then, them just with loads of, probably 2 of them, 3 of them maybe. You'd probably have to have at least one other dude just to kind of like buff them. Yeah, with like comms or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can maybe even pick 3 of them and then just have the rest filled out with drones.
Yeah, I was going to
Especially
say,
with the 1,
surely
2, 5 points, you can fit a
drones.
lot in there.
Surely pretty heavy on drones, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, even if you're just trying to stand still and shoot
Drones.
with like Pathfinders,
Yeah.
people still just have loads of drones in a tower.
Yeah.
list.
Oh yeah,
It seems.
like, well, yeah. But I think the meta for Tau is pretty much drone spam. So it's usually just 3 Pathfinders
Yeah.
and then a shitload of drones.
Gross.
There we go. Is
There
that
you
not?
have it.
How does that compare to what you normally run?
So,
All jokes aside about how you did in the tournament, you've actually done quite well with Tau on the podcast.
Yes.
So how does that compare to what you normally run?
I usually take 3 Pathfinders. If I had the models, I'd take 3 rail rifles because they're just so good. They kill everything. So they're pretty much they'll always be kind of static. They'll always be readied up. So alongside that, I'd usually take like 1 stealth suit as a leader, with target lock and burst cannon just for 4 shots, recon drone, and then fill the rest with gun drones. But I've also seen the merit of shield drones now as well, they're pretty good. So a couple of shield drones in the list can do wonders to protect those stealth suits even further, which are already quite difficult to move and shoot anyway. So
Nice.
yeah, but
Worth noting that question was sent in before we spoke about the tournament results.
I wish I recorded this episode as well before the tournament. I would have probably thought about my list a little bit.
I'm going to say right now we have like tons of Orc questions, which I'm going to save for a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll have a little Orc
Orc
we'll have a
extravaganza.
little Orc corner in a bit, I think.
Come sit on Daddy's knee and talk about orcs.
We decked out the board specifically for Orc corner as well. For those that are watching,
there, we got Wayne up front. There's Crumb Sniffers over there somewhere.
Oh yeah, the crumb de la
Got
crumb.
out. World Killer.
Was that the joke? Was that the joke?
What joke? The crumb de la crumb of all of the orcs, isn't it? Top to top, crumb de la crumb.
Was that it?
I don't know what you mean. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they're all there, aren't they?
All the classics.
World Killer, son of World Killer.
Yeah.
And
Big World Killer. He's there right in the middle of the doorway.
Actual World Killers there
Had
as
a
well.
snazzy new paint job. So
What they don't know is, though, bunch of Dark Angels on the top of the building they're running out of, so
well, yeah.
can't remember the name, so we'll move on.
That's fake Vaybrax Shelk as well.
Fake Vaybrax Shelk.
Yeah, it's imposter.
Yeah. You mean you used him as a proxy,
Yeah.
is what you mean.
Forgot Vaybrax.
Anyway, so we'll move on to Orc Corner later on. So Orc players stick around for some crumping, I suppose. I don't know what any of these Orc words mean. I just see people type them.
That's the beauty of orcs. You can just say what you want and it sounds orky.
You just take out a few.
I think
letters or a word.
I said in one of the other Q&As, like, especially in our accent.
Yeah.
We've got the perfect Orc accent.
Played
All Orcs sounds like they're from East London.
Yeah.
All Orcs all the time sound like they're from Hackney. So
It's true.
we're built for it. Right, we've got one, just general one, out to everyone. Although I think two people in particular may be able to answer this one. Are there any plans for Thousand Suns or Necrons on the podcast? There was some plans for Thousand Suns.
Yes, there's plans for both, I believe.
Yeah. So Thousand Suns I was going to do at one point.
Yeah.
Reese
I
also wanted to
actually
do.
started with Thousand Suns.
They're doing the rounds.
Thousand Suns are in episode 1 and then they
Yeah.
just disappeared, you might
Yeah.
remember.
What happened to them?
New
Well,
Army Who Dis.
Sold
yeah.
them.
I
Rude.
may have had some Tau as well at some point. Necrons.
Did you
Demons.
yeah, you've actually
I had demons.
You've had both of these armies at one point.
I have, yeah.
Did you not keep any Thousand Suns for Kill Team?
No, I binned a lot. Well, not binned, but
Binned them.
sold them all. Toby
Mad.
crushed me so
Recycled.
hard. Had to,
That's how
Send them
the
off.
cycle goes, isn't it?
yeah.
You get an army, you paint it to your credit. Not a lot of people do that.
No.
Get a
You
new
paint it all.
army, paint it fully, get it on the table. As soon as that loss comes off,
Get turned over.
Well, yeah, it was like
and
when with the Blood Angels as well. I beat the Blood Angels, then you beat the Blood Angels. And
then they were out the
then they
door.
were gone.
Well, actually, they made a pretty tasty comeback. If you remember Warhammer World, that's quite vicious.
Warhammer World against me, that was quite vicious. Took down Mortarion as well.
Oh shit! Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, little, librarian. He.
But regardless,
Anyway,
Yeah.
Thousand Suns.
So Thousand Suns were actually on episode 1 of the podcast.
yeah.
So I do feel like they need to make a comeback.
I
Whether it's
really
Barrett or
want
not
to.
is, yeah.
I really want to get them.
But you're working on another.
Yeah, I've
another
got
team.
a couple of bits. I've got too many things. Like
Yeah.
so I've got two other main ones that I want to kind of sort out.
You
What
want
are
to
they?
tell people what?
Shall I? I might
you
as
can,
well.
you can if you want.
So obviously I've started painting.
I'll just
the,
I'll just say now that Rob should probably sit down while he's going to hear this because he'll
think-
get
I
pretty
think-
excited. I
I think
think.
I've already showed him, to be honest.
Oh,
I think,
okay. Okay.
I think he's like the first person. I was like, finally, they're here. But yeah, I've started doing the custodies,
Yes.
custodies,
Custard boys.
Custodies.
custodies, whatever they are. The
Custard
same
boys.
shit. Custard boys. So I started painting them. Luckily enough, you can only really have 3 models on the board. So
Yes,
one
that's pretty
squad.
good, isn't it?
And I could buy a box of Terminators, but realistically, I'm probably not. to buy 5 models, and I can.
How many points is one of their Terminators?
So
Like 50 something.
if I put a Terminator in the army, I can only ever take a maximum of 2 models. So
they fucked Custodian Guard players with this, right? Are
Yeah,
they that good though? Would it be so overpowered?
I think they're like, they might be 2 wounds. They move the same. Might move 1 more inch than a Space Marine. They've got weapon skill of.
Are they toughness 5 or anything?
They might be toughness 5. I know they've got.
It just seems weird to me that they're deemed that powerful that
What's their
any
inbox?
more
Is it
than
like
three or so.
something?
4,
3
I
or so
think.
models.
Oh,
There must be
four.
like a key stat that I'm missing or a
something.
key ability. I haven't really looked, to be fair, but
Yeah.
there must be something that deems them super powerful.
It's even like it's bad to the point that like you can have 3 models, but you can't take 4, or you can have 2 models, but you're on like 90 something points. So
Yeah.
you've got all that spare
And then you
points,
can't
but
fit
you can't
anything
actually
else
fit
in.
anything else in.
Yeah.
Like literally, the maximum is 3 models. Even with I think it's
Even if you did,
in commanders.
Commanders
It's
as well.
literally 3 models. Yeah,
really?
yeah, because the
main
so
commander is probably really expensive.
He's
Well,
like
I suppose you
100
don't have. Do you have
points.
to have a commander?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. I think you have to run a commander in the commander's mission.
and he's like 100 points, and then like the other 2 are already like, I think they're like add up to like 80 or something.
It's
Yeah.
annoying.
It's mad, but yeah.
So aside from that, what else have you got on the go?
So there's those, and then I need to paint up all the heretic starties.
Yeah, they
and
made an appearance. Salazar Blom.
They did good, Saz. I've
Oh,
got
yeah.
Blonde.
Forgot about then.
Get Blom.
Bellissimo. What a guy.
Fully blonde.
I miss him. Need to bring him back, but painted,
Yeah.
not grey.
Yeah.
And since Elites has come out, we haven't used them yet. So there's a few extra little treats
Yeah.
that I could put into that. And also I'm thinking about, in the future, maybe going down the old heretic starties route as well.
Yeah. Also, I think it's like on one hand, Kill Team. You think, oh, like this is really cool because I get to do all these different armies because I only have to paint like a squad or 2 of each one, and then you end up either buying them, loads of them, and not getting around to painting them all, or when you think about it, like it's still kind of not that easy to play loads of different armies because you need to know an army well to do well with it. So it's like, obviously we have to try different things out because we want different stuff on the podcast.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit different. But as a general player, it's like, I see people with like 6 kill teams from 6 different factions and stuff who don't have to do it to be on a podcast or a battle report like YouTube channel or something. And I'm like,
How?
how? Like I couldn't get my head around all the rules for 6 different factions.
I would
like,
say-
to be really good with them.
Yeah, like I think we've all got like over 4 or something. Like
Yeah.
that. But we kind of have our favourites because we know our favourites.
Yeah.
Like even
yeah.
I've got Gene Stealer Cult at home
Yeah.
that are like pretty much all painted.
You got the starter set, Gene Stealer Cult.
Yeah.
I've got the starter set AdMech upstairs. Never been touched.
Yeah.
Primed them and then just did nothing with them.
It's like we've got all this, but then it's
mainly
just-
because Toby had his AdMech, but also because I was
he's
like,
the guy.
I was like, I can't just get into this other army that I don't know. It's quite hard.
It's a slippery slope.
It is.
Plastic crack.
Kill Team is a gateway drug. T-shirt idea.
the other
That'd be a
one.
T-shirt.
Yeah, that's a
we could have
good
that as a T-shirt
I'll do
idea.
that. I'll have
Question coming up later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. So 1,000 Tons are a maybe. There's been some
that.
interest
No, I really do want to do it. But
from both you and me, and Barrett has had 1,000 Tons before.
Well,
I also
let's
kinda
put it
wanted that
out there.
myself.
If I've already bought and built and painted a brand new kill team,
Ooh.
and which I'll be trying out at the weekend.
Yeah.
But it's me, so give it another
Yeah,
month.
so we'll
Next
get-
month I'll probably buy another one. So if no one's bought those 1,000 Suns, maybe I'll get them again.
To be fair, I'd be happy to split start collecting anyway because that's
Yeah.
because you've pretty much got everything in there apart from the Terminators.
Yeah, you don't
so.
need anything else.
And then,
And then even
someone
if
gets
splits the Terminators,
someone
so
gets to paint Araman as well, which is nice.
I would like to keep Araman and paint him
Yeah,
up.
there you go. That's a negotiation to be had at another time, though.
Indeed.
Just off the top of my head, real quick, what does that leave? What factions does that leave for us to cover?
Demons.
Crew.
Demons we haven't covered. They're pretty new. There's a question about them in a little bit that we'll get to as well.
Yeah,
Crew we haven't covered.
They're kind of tell though anyway.
Then we've got a couple of little specialist ones that we haven't really done, but I have Servants of the Abyss that we can get going with at some point. As you can see, Mr. What was his name again?
Obsidious Mallet.
Obsidious Malex, painted confronting the orcs there on display.
Rogue Trader and
the Rogue Traders and the Gellerpox we never got, so maybe it's worth we'll get into those.
Yeah, I think you can pick up the models as well quite.
Yeah,
reasonably.
so we haven't covered those, but most of the core factions, once Necrons and Thousand Suns done, I think we've covered them all.
The only other stuff that I think is coming up would be if we all use the characters from Blackstone Fortress, including like Traitor Guard.
But even that we've done. They come in the Servants of the Abyss, I think. Traitor Guard guys.
Yeah, but are they actually? Can you actually use them? As
I think they're part of the Servants of the Abyss.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I could be wrong, but I think they are. And yeah, so we got a few that we could get to. So yeah, so we got plenty of plans for new teams coming up and new commanders and things like that. Well, let's get to the question about. There was a question here about the demons. So someone asked if we were as disappointed in the demons rules as they are. Now I don't know how disappointed they were, but
Clearly severely.
I was pretty disappointed, to be honest.
Maybe they were just mild.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Yeah, so I
Wouldn't
can't
agree.
state for a fact if I'm more disappointed than this person, or
we'd
as
like
disappointed as this person. But I would wager
A safe
on par.
assumption.
Yeah,
Yeah.
on par, I reckon.
It was a letdown.
Yeah, did any of you get to read much of the Demons rules at all?
I was so disappointed I didn't even look at it.
There you go.
I had a look through, and
That's
I
the
was
most
a bit-
disappointed
Yeah.
you can be, I think.
Obviously, I was like, great, let's buy another kill team. Let's buy a load of...
Demonettes.
yeah, let's buy a load of blood
Sniffing
letters
out
again.
new data sheets like crack. Just
Ooh.
like, oh, new data sheet. Let me get on that.
I had blood letters before. Let's get them back again. Yeah,
Easy
but
to
wasn't that fast after reading it all.
Yeah, they didn't seem to have like a... What was that?
Just a little bit less sound. That was all.
Okay, you all right
Oh, there
now?
we go. That's perfect.
There we go. That was my elbow, that's why.
Sorry.
Yeah, it didn't have anything.
Yeah, they just didn't have anything where I was like,
Anything to
that would
it.
be really cool to use. And I
Yeah.
think that's what
Where-
you wanted. Otherwise, it was always going to be disappointing. Because
Where
why
they're-
would you pick without that little like spark of, oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I could play these this way.
Yeah.
Like it didn't. Looking at those data sheets didn't get me like working out how I would use them and how it would be fun and all this.
Yeah.
So why would you go to them if you've got tons of other
Yeah.
stuff to pick?
Yeah, so it's cool that you can take the mix of all the different ones, but yeah, didn't seem like there was really any benefit to
Also, I was kind of hoping that you'd be able to
ally.
in, which probably isn't the official term, but you know how like Tau and the Crew or Tyranids and Gene Stealers, you can use units from one army, one faction with another faction.
Yeah,
I was kind of feeling like, you know, with the use of keywords or something, they could put it in that you could specific chaos. Whatever they're called, war bands or whatever the official
Even like
legions or something.
Some kind of summoning or something.
Yeah,
like,
just that
in-game.
they could use the appropriate ones, like Death Card could use Nurgle demons and things like that. Like I feel like I don't know, it might make them a bit overpowered. Maybe.
It make Grey Knights better.
Yeah.
It would. If they even do it just to make Grey Knights better.
I'll be behind that.
I think making Grey Knights better is the last thing on Games Workshop's mind at the moment, by the sound of it.
The next kill team box. Grey Knights versus Demons. Because
Yeah.
they've not sold any.
Yeah.
Need to just drag them out.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty disappointing. Like I don't even know what I was expecting, but it was just like I was reading it and I was like, yeah,
There
Just
doesn't really
something-
seem to be any
something
synergy.
cool.
yeah. It also, I don't know how they explained it, but it doesn't really make sense to me.
What, like
A kill team
Spec
of
Ops
demons.
demons.
Yeah, Spec Ops demons.
Demon
like-
SAS like dropping in out of a fucking demon helicopter?
Like it, yeah, it just doesn't really make much sense to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
that's
assume that's why they weren't in the game to start with,
Especially
because
the
it
fact
doesn't
that you-
make any sense.
Yeah, it's normally
Especially the
all
fact
or
you
nothing,
take
isn't
them
it?
all.
It's just like the
I
hole's
think
open.
taking
or
a
it's not.
mix doesn't really make any.
Yeah, I mean, you
Makes
can take a mix in 40k, right, with demons,
But
but you don't get certain benefits and things like that.
I think you have to have the keyword to summon them and all that shit as well.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
if you are
it
gonna-
was just a bit confusing to me. Almost as confusing as did any. I think it was in the same issue. I'm not too sure, but did you see the Eisenhorn rules?
No,
as a
didn't check his
commander.
stuff.
Oh, has he got some mad?
Well, they completely fluffed the printing
Absolutely
of
fucked it.
and it was like he had the worst stats for a commander that you've ever seen in your
It
life.
was so bad.
They just printed it completely wrong, and
I didn't
everyone
even
was
notice.
like, "What on earth?" Like, I'll put them up on the screen at the moment
All right.
for the viewers. So if you can have a look, it's right here if you want to have a look. And as you can see, they absolutely fucked it. Like they
stink.
gave him like 1 wound. They didn't
nice.
give him. You couldn't take him with like Death Watch. You couldn't take him like with anything that made sense. Like it was. They'd like clearly copied another data sheet.
Probably Wayne's data sheet.
And like, yeah, he had a grot blaster for some reason. Like, and yeah, so they clearly copied another data sheet, and then I guess in the edit of the episode of the issue, just forgot to
Someone's like, "Oh, change that."
change it.
It
Yeah.
happens.
So then when they released the digital version,
He was stacked.
he was absolutely stacked and seems really cool.
He's a monster.
So, think that was a bit that had I was hoping the same would be for Demons, where they were like, oh yeah, we done that wrong as well, here they are, and they were like fucking amazing, but they didn't do that.
It didn't happen.
So that actually leads us on nicely to another question, which is, what is our favourite commander in the game? So I think we'll go we can cycle round everyone. We'll start with Barrett.
Broodlord.
The Broodlords.
Easy.
Yeah, so that's my least favourite because I've never used it
It's
and
just
only
fucking
ever
horrible.
played against it. And it's horrible.
It's nasty.
To give us a little rundown of the Broodlord, what's the base stats? Can you remember off the top of your head?
I've actually got them up.
Oh
Just
yeah.
waiting for another question, but
Waiting for another question.
movement 8, weapon skill 2, strength 5, toughness 5, 6 wounds, 6 attacks.
That's pretty beastly, isn't
Leadership
it?
10, 4 up save.
That's before any specialisms and things like
Yeah,
that.
he's just got the one weapon, monster rending claws, strength 5, 8, minus A3. Minus A3?
Minus A3.
Minus 3
It
AP.
just takes away all your paper.
D3 damage, but on a wound roll of a 6 up, it's at minus 6 AP and a flat 3 damage. He's also got 5 up Invuln.
Super stacked. Like crazy.
Minus 1 from any psychic tests made by enemy psychers within 18 of him. He can reroll failed charge rolls. He's a synapse model, so people within 12 auto pass.
Yeah, so he's just got tons
very
going
nice.
for him.
He's just
very
fucking
nice.
horrible.
I think he's had a good showing on this podcast every time he's
Yeah.
But
straight away. Toby, yeah,
Yeah.
yep. What points does he start at?
131.
It's pretty
That's
costly.
mad.
That's his base.
But with
points.
Tyranids, right? You can still
Yeah, you
take
got like a
tons.
4-point horn.
Yeah,
again.
well, I mean, as an example, in the last list I took, what they had him in it, it was the Broodlord. Oh, wait. Hold on, where is it? There he is.
Ah, it's dead air.
No. Broodlord, 3 Gene Stealers, and then 5 Hormagaunts, I think.
So you
and
still
then
get bodies.
5 Termagants.
That's still twice my normal Grey Knight list.
I mean, that was still a,
disgusting.
that was still a 13 model list.
Exactly.
filth.
So that's pretty good. The points don't really matter too much there, I don't think.
No.
Okay, Toby, favorite commander in the game.
Well,
Do you have a tip-top favorite commander?
I do, but in the interest of variety,
Was yours also the Broodlord?
no, it's the Patriarch.
It's basically the
It's the
same.
Broodlord, but with a Gene Stealer flag.
Ah.
So, yeah, pretty much exactly the same with a couple of extra bolted on rules for like an extra 15 points.
Nice.
But for the sake of argument, the Kellermorph is by far my favourite.
Stan.
Yeah,
It
so
was
we
cool.
did a game with
We did.
with the Kellermorph, right?
We went face to face.
That was a really good mission, actually.
It was.
Mm.
We need to do that again.
Yeah. I think if
did
neither
the,
of us bought like combat dudes either, so it was
No,
just like, oh my god.
because we didn't know. Yeah, so we both had these shooty guys. I think I had a shadow seer, so not
Yeah.
quite a shooty guy, but definitely not a combat guy. Yeah, and then and then we were like, okay, they're starting face to face. Yeah, pretty. I remember him being really good, but
Yeah.
I think only last him maybe 2 turns or something, just because of that game type.
It's just the game type. But I mean, I've not used him since, but just in every kind of Warhammer, he's just the best.
Really cool model as well.
Just really cool model. Is it like rocking the 3 pistols?
Yeah.
Like in Kill Team, you can just shoot round corners using other people's line of sights and things like that, and it just gets mental.
mad.
You could just hide him. Just be like, you're here. I'm going to shoot that guy over there. Like, I'm obscured, not from him.
And
from
that
him,
sounds
you know?
like a Toby rule.
Yeah, it is.
But it's a real rule.
It's a real rule.
He has actually used a similar rule against me in my first game of 40k with you guys. Fucking dreadnoughts shooting literally through buildings.
Grey Knights, Ashton Lane.
Just through buildings, destroyed everything.
Yeah, that was always fucking horrible.
Reese, favourite commander in the game. Do you have one?
Yes, I've only used one. So
Oh, you haven't really played commanders, have you?
I've had one game with you lot. And that was with the commander in XV85 Enforcer Battlesuit. That's the big Tau boy.
The Gundam.
The Gundam.
That
came out.
people heard you use last week for the first time ever.
Yeah. Not to great effect.
Yeah.
What a disappointment he was.
So
Well,
what,
mate, I won the last one, right? Which actually had some decent like stuff going on in that, right? Paul and Barry shoved your shit back in. So
that was the triple threat. This was a
time I
fatal
was just
four-way.
like, this time I was just like, yeah.
You're like, yeah, I don't
I'm
care.
just gonna tow it up.
You're like, yeah, I'm gonna pay and not move.
Yeah, exactly.
So what? So obviously, just we all know what happened in the last
He didn't die.
episode. No, but he didn't do
He
much.
did some damage to, I assume, if I remember rightly.
I assume.
Didn't he almost kill the Broodlord?
I'm pretty sure he could have just killed the Broodlord, but I let Joe and James fight. I could have killed both of their commanders. Well, I did because I would have just shot you. I was tempted to do that.
Chose.
But yeah, so he's chunky. He's a big boy.
Yeah. So what was it about the commander that looks good to you on paper then?
He's massive. The model's cool. For one, but
That's a
also
big tick.
so he has like he's just got access to like loads of equipment. So he's expensive, but it's actually not that bad. Like you can give him loads of stuff. So you can like kit him out with. So I, for example, had the drone controller. So just basically add one to hit rolls for attacks made by drones, and I had a few of them. So my drones are better. Shield generator, which gives them a 4-up invul.
Yeah.
That's like 20 points on its own, I think. The shield generator is quite a lot. On a commander, it's a lot of money.
If you're putting all your
What
points in that basket,
what sort of points are we talking?
He's
Base
100,
points.
well, mine was 103 points. So that's not base. I can't remember what his base, but that's with the equipment. So he's not
It's not
that
too bad, really.
But obviously you have to take equipment.
Yeah.
He has 4 slots, so you can give him quite a lot.
Yeah.
So I gave him drone controller, shield generator, and I gave him 2 cyclic iron blasters, which are pretty spicy little guns. So, but you could literally give him 4 flamers, or like 3 flamers, and then like the thing that makes his weapons have more extra AP.
Yeah.
Like you can do horrible things.
Loads of tasty stuff.
Yeah, basically, he's pretty good.
Swiss Army Town, isn't he?
Will we be seeing him again on the podcast?
If I can get the towel out of the bin, then yeah, I need to go to the
Go to the pawn shop and buy the towel back.
yeah, pretty much. No, I've got him all ready to go whenever we need. So
Yeah, nice. I'm going to go with a bit of a weird one, I think, because it's one that I've never used.
Oh. I thought you were going to choose your Death Guard guy.
The
Yeah, I
Death
was
Guard
gonna
guy.
say that
So
as well.
yeah, so first of all, the Foul Blight Spawn is tasty AF. That weapon, holy shit, that can wreck things in 40k.
Right,
And in-
when we had our game, it did.
It can take out like tanks and stuff in 40k. So sticking that in Kill Team is insane when it goes well.
Yeah.
Which he's featured on the podcast against what was it against?
Blood Angels.
Blood Angels.
I think he tore my librarian up, I think.
Yeah, like turn 1 or turn 2 or
Yeah,
something. Like just absolutely
melted him.
Yeah, just like walked over there and just sprayed him and was done. So he's up there. There's lots of tasty stuff you can do with him, but on paper, there's one that I think is even better. And he's not been on the podcast yet. It's one that I hope that will be soon. with a potential guest army that we're having on at some point. But
there you go.
a Mr. Slime Arbo
Oh yeah, no, he's
is
so sick.
like not only one of the best commanders, I think, but one of the best models GW has ever made ever. Just looking at his like rules and stuff.
Ripper gun.
Yeah, so he's got the Ripper pistol, which is a 12-inch pistol. 3 shots. That always wounds on 2, which is nice. So no matter what he's shooting at. Also, when he's in combat, his envenomed blade always wounds on a 2, which is real nice. Gets 4 attacks, leadership 7. He's hitting on 2s, whether he's in combat or shooting. So he's hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s quite a lot.
Can anyone say missing Primarch?
Which is quite nice. And abilities-wise, he's got some cool stuff. So
There's loads as well.
so his speciality can only, I think, be Legendary Hunter.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly what out of these rules that one adds, but it's one of them. So he has Hard Case, in which he ignores the penalty to his hit rolls from flesh wounds that he suffered. So flat out, not ignore the first one.
Just straight up.
He's just ignoring all of them.
He has no arms. No legs.
And that's if you get through his 4 wounds that he's got anyway, obviously, to start giving him flesh wounds. Then he has Loner, which means he can't take the Voice of Command ability.
It's fair enough, though.
Fair enough. He has Sudden Ambush. So when you set this model up from reserve, you can set him up anywhere on the battlefield that is more than 5 inches away from any enemy model. So that is just free. He's just popping up on the board for free. That's a command point save straight away. And then there's Lethal Ambush. Mm-hmm. Lethal Ambush. When you set up Slime Arbo from reserve, you may choose one of the following. Stalk with Blade. I don't know why that's not full English, but you can immediately declare that Slime Arbo will attempt to charge, though you may only roll a single d6. So remember, you need a 6 basically.
43% chance.
Yeah. So, but still, technically it's a charge roll though. So could you re-roll that with a command point?
I'd argue it.
Yeah,
I think you probably could. It's a charge roll.
Yeah.
So you could re-roll it. Which is pretty good.
Better.
In addition, until the end of the battle round, add 2 to his attacks characteristic. If you decide to do that. So if you do that and you get in, you got 6 attacks. Hitting on 2s, wounding on 2s.
Jeez.
Then he also has Snipe with Pistol. So he has. So instead of that, you can choose to immediately shoot his Ripper pistol when he lands, as if it were the shooting phase. So you just get those 3 shots straight up on 2s again, because it's not going to be long distance, because you're just over 5 inches away. Or he has the best one, in my opinion, the one that I would love to. This is what I'm talking about, where you read a rule and you're like, that'll be fun. I want to do that. Detonate concealed explosives. Nice. You roll a d6 for each of up to 6 enemy models on the battlefield. So an entire Grey Knights team or an entire Custodes team. And on a 6, the model being rolled for, and all models within 2 inches of that model suffer a mortal wound.
Jesus Christ.
What?
That is so
Excuse me? That's just his normal fucking thing that he can just do.
So this is probably why Commanders isn't ever a competitive tournaments, because if everyone just take guard with him,
like he could just not only is he so he's getting on the board for free in a position that everyone else has to pay for, and then he's rolling up to 6, rolling 4 up to 6 of your models, and potentially giving that model and any models within 2 inches of it a mortal wound.
That's fucking gross.
That you can't save. Which is disgusting.
I look forward to this visitor.
Yeah, so hopefully Slime Arbo will be on the podcast at some point soon. He is my favourite commander, and I haven't even watched a battle report with him.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Just the whole reading the whole data sheet is just that That sounds good.
He's got most of the Gene Silicote Codex in his one day sheet. I'm just like, yep, cool.
And I also love that, even aside from gameplay, like I love that because it's like a thematic rule.
Yeah.
Like who's going off?
It's reminded me to take my contact lenses out.
Go on then. We'll wait. Yeah, it's thematic. Like he would be kind of doing this sudden ambush, and he would have.
It's in his name.
He would have like explosives set up that he would detonate. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking brilliant. So he's my favourite commander, even though I've never seen a single game with him in. Yeah. And I do want to do some more Commanders games.
Yeah, they're fun.
They are really fun, and we don't tend to do them that much. I think it is another thing where it's like it's a whole bunch of new rules to learn as well. It's like what we were saying earlier.
It really does change the game.
Yeah, so maybe we'll get into some Commander stuff in the next campaign. Maybe.
Oh, that'd be good.
When that comes. So, what else do we have? Will you be getting the new starter set, and what are your thoughts on it as a whole? I think we're going to skip it, aren't we?
Yeah, I can't see the point.
We don't really have... I think thoughts on it as a whole, I think it's still good
great.
if you want to get into...
I'd say buy it, eBay the towel. No, the towel, pretty good.
Yeah. I think if you're looking to start the game, it's good. Whereas
It's not bad.
the first starter set was good regardless.
Oh, I still think the first starter set was incredible compared to this one. Like this one's just not that. I don't think it's that great.
But for people starting the game, I think it is.
Yeah.
Like
You got two of the most popular
Teams.
Yeah, think of the fact compared to the teams that you got in the last one.
Yeah,
that's
the
and
only
GSC.
thing, yeah.
Like no one's really playing them.
Yeah.
Other than Toby's playing both of them. Both of them and Grey Knights, all wrapped up in
Living
one
the dream.
person.
Top tier armies.
Yeah.
The only thing that I see in it is that they've got Fangs of Ulfrich, whatever it is, and then they've got that
tower
Team
one.
Star Pulse thing.
Yeah.
And they've just put them together with the cards and all
Yeah.
that, which you can get from individual boxes. You don't get the Tau Terrain, which is the Wall of Martyrs thing.
Yeah.
You do get the
Space Wolves one.
You do get the Space Wolves one, but that Space Wolves one makes up pretty much half of the terrain that you get in the box anyway, because you get quite a lot of terrain with that.
Yeah.
And apart from that, it's like the other. You just get one extra bit of
and
kind of
the
terrain there.
kill zone is a kill zone that they sold before anyway, right?
Well, but you don't even get all of that kill zone. You don't get the pipes or anything like that.
Which is like the main thing of it.
You get you don't get the pipes in there. You don't get there's a few bits that if they had the pipes in there and they had the full kill zone, I'd be like, yeah, they're sick, because that Sector Mechanicus kill zone is actually one of my favorite kill zones, and I wish we had that. We don't have that.
Yeah,
but
I think we underestimated as a whole how quick all those kill zones would sell out.
Yeah,
like because we never really went for them, did we?
No.
And then they just sort of sold out. And obviously we play on, we have the custom board that we kind of use as anything. But we kind of skipped out on that and missed them all. Didn't really.
we got the other one.
Yeah, that one.
We got two of them. We got Fronteris that we haven't
got three
used.
now as well. We got the new sector thing with the ruins one.
Oh yeah, we did that.
But the Fronteris one's actually, I think it's so underrated as a kill zone. They get so much stuff in there.
When we played at yours, some of the rules were ridiculous for it.
Yeah, it's. I think I need to bring it down. We need to use
the scenery
it on the podcast.
that you get with the Fronteris one's really cool.
Yeah.
I've got some of that as well.
It comes with because I got the same Starn's Disciples box set. You actually get a good amount of it in that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with that.
Loads of
series.
tactics for it as well. Loads of
I think if it weren't for the price of the rule book, then there would be better ways to start the game. But if you look at it and you want to get into Kill Team, I'm assuming that new start set comes with a rule book, same as the last one, right? I haven't really looked into it. So if you were to buy the rule book, was it like 30 quid? Something like that?
Yeah, probably from Games Workshop, yeah.
So you're already spending 30 quid on the book, and then you got to look at a kill zone and two teams. It's like, value-wise, it's worth it. It's just not as exciting a set as
the first one.
As the first one, especially if you're already a player, which is maybe what they wanted to avoid. Maybe they wanted it to all go to new players.
Yeah, you still see a lot of people saying they're just getting into it and they're after the old start set, they can't get it. So.
Yeah, But I mean, like, a lot of the big starter sets, in quotes, in 40k are bought by people that already play 40k because they're good value. So maybe they wanted to avoid that. Maybe they wanted to avoid that with this because the last one went out of stock so fast.
Yeah.
It was maybe they just want new people to actually get into the game, so they only made it really appealing to new people because it's not really appealing to us. So no, we will not be getting it. How do you come up with your squad names? I think this means the individual names as well as the actual squad names, but
we are
gifted.
Yeah, we just
very special people with very special imaginations.
The famous Flavortown, their one was a bit different for me.
I've never really gotten to explain this properly. I think I explained it to one person the other day, but the whole Flavortown thing is mental. How that whole, you can go back and listen to it. I think I kept it all in. You can listen to it in real time. So we're all doing the campaign primer. Yeah, where us three are recording it, and you were in the other room because we didn't have 4 mics at the time.
Yeah, I was just banished
because that was when we were just starting out. We didn't have many listeners. Yeah, but now we get all that podcast money. We got 4 mics.
Oh yeah.
We can't afford matching pop shields, but
no, yours is just a special one. So.
Yeah, it's because this is to signify that I'm the producer.
None of our earphones work. You've got a nice pop shield.
None of this is actually plugged in.
We're just here
it's all just going through that one.
I can't actually hear anything. I might be shouting.
This whole thing's scripted. I'm reading it off the screen.
I would actually like to point out that your pop shields are better. This is cheap, flimsy rubbish one. So. Anyway, so we only have three mics. You were painting in the other room while we were all going through our names, and we're like having a bit of a laugh. Like mine are fucking named after rappers, and we didn't really know how it was all going to go. And like the Orcs are just hilarious
Barrett's
regardless.
Boys.
Yeah, and then that was the birth of Barrett's Boys.
That's another influence.
I went first and just rolled them out the book.
Yeah, you rolled them out the book, but still
they were still funny.
They were still funny. So Reese comes to sit down, and he's like, obviously heard us laughing and everything, and he's like, I didn't realise you were doing funny ones, like I've done serious ones. And we were like, it don't matter, like it'd be cool to have a serious one, like that's fine. And you were like, I don't know though, like it's like I've done all serious names. And we were like, it's fine, like just read it. I think I left all this in. And you sat down, and the first thing you busted out was that it was called Flavortown. And we were like, hang on. Hang on, what do you mean you've got serious?
Right, so obviously before they weren't obviously called Flavortown, and before that they were like, it was because of you guys and your funny names and all of your like laughter in the other room.
So it was like a last
I'm sitting
minute
out there on my own like a fucking loner, painting like a little nerd in the corner, not allowed to join.
I gave you a little tray and everything.
Yeah, then I came out here, and you're all just like, oh yeah, here's Barrett's Boys, and he's like Ballbaggis or whatever his name is, like the York, and then there's like me with fucking Ballbaggis, and then there's me.
Well, that's
with
got to
like,
be in, which one's Ballbaggis? We got to go for a new one. That's got to be another one of the
There's a
grots,
couple unpainted ones in the book.
Yeah,
Ballbaggis.
That's
Erlach.
All right in there.
Yeah.
No, one of the grots is Ballbaggis from now on.
But yeah, it's like there was all this going on, and then it's me with like in Hastar Sajan in the corner over there, and like Havar Sajan, and I'm just like, oh right, I sound like a massive nerd here with these like stupid Latin space.
Yeah,
names.
if there's one thing you don't want to do on the podcast about the plastic toy soldiers is sound like a nerd.
Yeah, well, it was like, and then you kept obviously talking about French stuff all the time, and it's just
French stuff hadn't started yet. The French stuff hadn't started.
That was a towel.
Yeah, well, no, there was also some French stuff in the Space Marines as well. Yeah, I think it was Havar Sajan.
It was the towel that just tipped it over the edge, where you come on and then was like, oh, this is like voulez-vous and stuff like that.
But it happened, and then I was like, right, I'm pretty sure the name before was probably like
some
like
Raven
Sons of
thing.
Deliverance or something like that. Like obviously the Raven Guard, like fucking Home Planet and all that crap. But then I was like, right, this is it. My leader's called Guy Fieriax. The first thing that came to my head, obviously named after the infamous Guy Fieri. And then the kill team would just be called Flavortown. But obviously they're not just called Flavortown. That doesn't make sense. You can't just call something Flavortown.
Yeah.
It's a group of people.
Yeah.
So it's obviously that's their like kill sign.
Their call sign.
Their call sign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're known as like Kill Team Flavortown. So.
Yeah.
But all the other
Every time they jump out of the plane, it's like, let's spice it up. And then they just go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they might do that. They might say that.
Like,
So that's
trademark.
so in
fucking show.
in a way, the answer to the question is just off the top
What was
of
the
our
question?
heads last minute.
Yeah.
How do you come up with your squad names?
We tend to just bounce it, don't we? Someone starts going, and then everyone else jumps on it, and it gets out of hand, and then you have to scrap a lot of them because they're too offensive.
Oh yeah,
Well,
there's
that's
the
why
York ones coming out.
There are a few
new
banned
recruit-
ones, I
There
think.
are some
Yeah,
banned
the new recruit grots I put in the group chat. Just bought a box of grots. What shall I call them? And then
They all
Reece
come out,
comes
yeah.
straight in.
Filth.
Well, to be honest, I like coming up with stupid random shit names for things.
There was some,
I
Yeah,
enjoy
but
it.
some of them
There
were.
were some horrible ones in there.
I
They
mean,
weren't that bad.
There's
there
a
was
question-
like the Felcher. That's not that bad. Oh my god. The Felcher is not bad.
Calling it.
some of them are.
It's not bad.
Some of them are banned.
But we've still got like some good ones in there.
Yeah, we got some good ones.
Yeah, but they're like low key, slightly
Crumb
obscure.
sniffer.
Crumb sniffer is mental.
Thickums is
Thickums
You
is
don't
one
want
of
to
my
know what
favourite.
came up with Thickums. There was some.
So, but the point is, yeah. So all of them are different then in a way. Like I tend to, I'll get like a theme from like a movie or a TV show or something and run off that, or music, and then do it around that. I've got one coming up that I'm very proud of.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
That none of yous know yet, but you're gonna get to know.
I
I'll tell you that
often
much.
try to name them as they would be named for
Yeah,
their
I
like
don't.
race or something.
Yeah.
Like the Space Marines always.
But that
sound
shows
Space
that
Marine.
that's because you're the biggest lore nerd out of all of us,
Yeah.
100%. So when we said that on episode 0, I think.
Yeah. I think
So
it is, yeah.
like, so that just shows because I'm getting into it now. Like I'm listening to the audiobooks and stuff. But most of my attraction to armies and knowledge of armies before have come off of like they sound good, they look good.
Yeah.
That's that. And then I know a little bit like whatever it says in the book or whatever. But
Yeah.
because you know more about the armies, you tend to go for that kind of thing, I think.
Yeah.
To be fair, the only jokey names in my guys is just the Orcs ones. Everything else has got serious names.
Yeah, true.
I don't know, like barb tongue and stuff is still pretty funny in its own way, I think. Especially when
Is that from the book though?
Yeah,
Those ones.
Barb Tongue was from the book. All the
nice,
all the
that.
Jakari's from the book. These new Eldar ones are from the book.
To be fair though,
The Blood Angels are from the book. Tyranids don't have them because.
Tell you what's
they don't
good
need
though. What's good, and it's suggested by the one and only versatileterrain.co.uk when it comes to their nameplates that they print, because they print these really cool 3D printed
I've
nameplates,
seen them.
custom for you models on display. I think on a couple of the models on the table. We probably should have put more of them that we actually have names for.
It's shameful that I haven't done the Orcs ones yet.
Yeah, that's got to be the next one, surely.
Quite a few of them though.
So what I was going to say on the Versatile Terrain website for in their thing where they sell the nameplates, they suggest going to I believe it's called fantasynames.com. And honestly, it is pretty amazing.
There's
website.
so many categories
There's
on there.
so many categories. Like you can get tons of randomly generated names for like any kind of race and army and period and whatever genre, like anything. And that's really cool. And I've used that a few times to name like the Astra Militarum and stuff like that.
Even just taking a direction from it is really good sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You just get like one or two, and then you're like, oh mate,
I'm
yeah.
pretty-
I'm
I'm
go
actually-
off on this.
I'm pretty sure that's how I started a lot of the Tau
Yeah.
to get the idea of the Tau names, and then I was like, okay, well,
Yeah.
and then I just added my own bits where I thought they could sound better.
Yeah. So
Flair.
I
Look at
the
fat.
Ric Flair.
The
The-
French Jew.
the Harlequins. Yeah. What did you go on? To get the town names? What did you go on?
Yeah, so I went on
French.
French space blue fishman.
Keywords.
category.
That's where you got it all.
Yeah.
See what I mean? They have these loads of little niche things like that. Yeah, the Harlequins, my Harlequins names, which I do have nameplates for, were 100% from fantasy names or whatever it's called. So, yeah, so that's a really good resource as well. But most of it is, it's, to be honest, to be completely transparent, most of it is just trying to make people laugh.
Same.
Like,
Well, actually, no, not same.
No, yours are well serious.
Complete. I just try in other ways.
So that's how we come up with it. Most of it is just. I do find that I'm actually thinking about it now, whereas before it was like an afterthought, and now I'm like, I should name a team after
Got to
blah
be
blah
named.
blah. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So that is how we name our squads. We have. Do you play any other games or just Kill Team? Are there any chance of non-Kill Team games on the podcast? So
No, we don't.
no, this is called Chill Team. That'd be ridiculous. Next question. No, yeah, there's some plans for some other games.
Chill Cry.
Chill Cry. It may be coming. War Chill.
Maybe a bit. That's a hint, by the way, guys.
Chill Cry may be coming at some point soon.
Yeah.
Hopefully, which will be fun.
Yeah.
And also Blackstone Fortress. I mentioned earlier that obviously I have Servants of the Abyss and stuff like that. That's because I bought Blackstone Fortress. I've played a couple games on my own because you can play it as one player, which is
I need that.
maybe it's one of the most depressing things I've ever read on the back of a game. But
Sitting in the corner, on your own, just like, yes.
oh, your move, Joe. Okay. It's actually really fun.
Did you win? Did you win?
No.
I was defeated.
No, because you do technically still play against like hostiles that you aren't really controlling. You roll to see how they get controlled. So the answer is no. I did not win my single player campaign, but it's actually really interesting how it plays as a one player thing. I've never really seen that with a board game before. Really cool, but. Just the game as a whole and how much it integrates with Kill Team, I think it makes sense for us to do it. And 4 is the key number for Blackstone Fortress. That is an explorer each.
Cool.
And then or 2 if you take Rain and Rouse, and then we get to go up against the hostiles.
That'd be lovely.
Which I believe when you do it like that, you alternate who's controlling them each turn or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, so Blackstone Fortress and
Be a cool little campaign to do.
Chillstone Fortress and Chill Cry will be coming soon, probably at some point. But it's got to that point, like when you start talking about that, like we don't even do. There's like loads of Kill Team games that I want to get to that we haven't even done yet. You know what I mean? We haven't played Kill Team on the Blackstone Fortress thing. We haven't tried out different armies and stuff. So it just gets to that point where, like, we need to work out how we're going to have time to do all this stuff.
Yeah.
Especially with like one episode every 2 weeks, which is obviously what we went down to, just because we finding that one episode a week was just it was a bit too hard to keep up, wasn't it? So, that may be a bit of a similar statement to when I said we'll do a crew Kill Team. But for now, just take it as, we're going to do some other stuff. I think we need to have a good day of like Blackstone Fortress without recording it, and then
get used to it first.
Then maybe we'll get into it. But my aim would be, I would just put that out there, that if we were to do non-Kill Team games, they would go kind of in between the standard Kill Team run-in of this podcast.
It'd be a bonus.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to like replace the Kill Team episodes with anything. It would be a bonus, if anything.
Be nice for us to record as well. If we
just
something to do,
something a little bit different.
That'd be cool.
And just the way that Blackstone Fortress plays, I feel like that would go really well with our format. I think because there's not, the only thing that we ever really cut out is the movement phase, right? And there's not really a big movement phase because
cool. We'd have to
you literally move like fucking 2 tiles or something, so it's like done.
Sick.
So potentially a few others coming up. What's the chances of getting someone to come to the US for a couple games?
Absolutely.
Mate, fly me out. I'll come.
Anytime.
So we want
Where
to.
and when?
We want to. What I will say on this topic is I will be in the US for Adepticon next year. So, I'll be working, but I'll be in the US around Adepticon. So there'll be a couple of days, maybe either side or whatever. So if you're going to Adepticon and you want to play a game, you're in Chicago, hit me up and we'll play some Kill Team. Hopefully, maybe some of you guys are going to come as well.
That would be nice.
Going to look into it.
Yeah.
Other than that, if any of you guys from the United States of America or anywhere really would like to come to the Iron Skull painting competition,
that's going to be good.
in February in London, we will probably be there in some capacity, even if we're just hanging out. So that would be nice, and we could see you there and maybe play a few games there.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
So I'll put all the details for Iron Skull on the screen and in the description and things like that. We'll probably be there, and it'd be cool. It would be cool. Like we were talking on the last episode, like on the last on the recap, that tournament was the first time we really got to meet like listeners and play against them and stuff. And I would like to do that a lot more. I think that'd be really
definitely.
cool. So yeah, that, and I guess we're going to try and enter more tournaments around the London area.
Yep.
Yeah.
So if anyone fancies coming out, and let us know if you're playing in a tournament, and maybe we'll come down and give you a couple of games, give you a couple of wins probably as well. So yeah, that's it. So Adepticon next year would probably be the best time to at least catch me at this point in America. Never been to America before.
It's nice, mate.
So it'll be...
there's one. The best thing about it is the size of the plates.
Oh, enormous.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to Chicago as well.
you can get the proper
delicious
Chicago
pizzas out there.
So it's pizza, isn't it? That's the one.
deep dish pizza. Don't bother with normal pizza in Chicago.
Yeah, obviously it's like...
They'll just kick you straight out.
That's the one, isn't it? So any Chicago-based listeners,
Hit you up.
hit me up with some pizza suggestions. Where to get good
Vegetarian,
pizza.
right?
I'm only going to eat pizza while I'm there. Yeah, vegetarian if possible, please.
Don't
Just
offer
a
sausage
margarita.
Yeah, just a margarita. Cheese pizza, I think they call it. They say cheese
Pizza.
pizza.
I think they do also say margarita.
Just give me
I don't think they do. I think they only say cheese pizza in America. They don't say margarita. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've just never heard anyone over here call it a cheese pizza. Whereas in American TV, they call it a cheese pizza all the time. I've never heard an American call it a margarita.
Exactly. They do call it a margarita sometimes, I guess. I've never heard of anyone
They
say,
did when
I've
I
never
was
heard
there.
anyone say cheese pizza.
Have you really not?
No.
Do you not watch
I've been
TV?
to America quite a lot.
You ever
but
watch
I've never
Friends?
seen anyone.
Friends is American.
Yeah, but they're stupid people.
That's the listeners divided.
No, it's, they're not playing intelligent
Cut that out.
people, are they?
Too controversial.
Cheese pizza.
It's too What?
Give me that cheese pizza.
Who's that?
It's you, mate, when you're in America.
Thought that was a Friends impression.
No.
Anyway, I'll just tick that. Offend the American listeners. Tick that off.
Just cut that out. Podcast.
Get down to some nitty gritty questions. We've got two serious business questions. Do you have any merch? Which was actually a question I think we got on a picture of one of us wearing the merch. So I can see the confusion because we do.
We've
Yeah.
got merch.
We own
have
it.
merch.
Yeah.
There are 4 Chill Team t-shirts in existence that we
Yes.
wore for the tournament. We do have plans for them to be available, and potentially, hopefully, I hope I haven't cut this bit out. They're available for pre-order now, I think. So,
Yeah. If all's gone well.
well, because
If Reese has pulled his fingers out.
What do you fucking mean now? When's this going live?
this isn't going out for like another month or something.
Yes, they will probably be available now. Yeah, they will. Yeah. I got a little bit worried then.
Yeah. So hopefully they're available for pre-order right now. So again, in that description is a link to the merch store, and you can cop yourself some Chill Team t-shirts. We'd really appreciate it, and it's currently the only way you can support us monetarily, other than buying me a pizza when I'm in Chicago. So
You can also buy me a pizza in London.
to be fair, and It ties into this other question that we had about will we ever do a Patreon? A couple of people asked that on Reddit. So I've always been, and we've had this conversation, a little bit funny about trying to get money out of the listeners and doing it too soon and when's appropriate to start doing stuff like that. I didn't anticipate that we'd start getting people asking how they can give us money. So that was something that I hadn't thought about. But at the moment, I think we will stick to doing things like maybe T-shirts and stuff. And you can support us that way. Cool. And you can buy stuff and then you get something.
Yeah.
Patreon would be really cool down the line, or something along those lines, like an on-demand service where we offer all sorts of other content about different games and videos and things like that. So it is definitely something that is, we would like to work towards, but I wouldn't personally feel comfortable dishing that out
yet
now.
Anyway, like I feel like
it just seems a bit.
We need to have something.
Yeah, it just seems a bit. We have, we don't take any. We don't sell any ads on the podcast at the moment. We have the sponsor from Versatile Terrain, but that's it. We don't. It's just not something we do at the moment. It's not something I've gone out to try and do. To be completely black and white, so we might get to that point. It personally, as a viewer, annoys me when I see people do that prematurely.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. It just feels a bit like it's not. Look, running this thing costs money and it costs us time to do, but one, it's fun. That's why we do it, and two, it's not exactly breaking the bank at the moment, so we can manage it, and we don't really need to be doing stuff like that. So we'll get to a point, I'm sure, where it's. I'm not saying we're never going to do it. And I'd love to get to a point where we could offer more content for people.
That's
which would be the goal. So that would be the only time I think we end up on a Patreon type thing. Yeah, but for now,
someone's got to pay for the water.
Someone's got to pay for the water. Bottled water we dish out on every episode. So 2 different brands.
Sponsored by Tesco.
A choice of brand. I'll bleep that. They other bottled waters are available. Yeah, so that's where we're at, I think. For now, hopefully there's a T-shirt pre-order link wherever you're listening to this. Be real nice if you could support us in that way. It would help run the podcast. And you get a T-shirt out of it, which is really cool.
It's nice.
And they're nice as well. They're nice T-shirts. We're not going cheapo.
Yeah, no,
they're nice.
They're good quality.
They're thick.
I mean,
Thickums tees. Yeah.
I used, me and Barrett have been in bands over the years, and I know a lot about cheaping out on merch. Okay, I know a lot about selling £5 T-shirts that crumble after one wash. We ain't doing that this time. We ain't doing that. No. We're going all for the quality. So
I think now we're adults. We realise that quality is everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Feels good on your skin.
That was your whole input to the whole part of that conversation.
Feels good on your skin.
Feels good on your skin.
That's the official tagline of Chill Team merch.
Yeah, feels good on your skin. Feels good on your skin. You know when they draw women in comic books, and it's like, how are you even?
How are you real?
How are your insides working? That's what orcs are like.
For a race of mushroom people.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. Actually, a little bit of lore for everyone.
Yeah.
Orcs.
I know a little bit about orc lore. Actually,
it's great, isn't it? It's
it's my only thing that I know really.
So they're obviously created by the old ones.
They're just fungus, aren't they?
They're fungus, yeah. That's why. So that's why they haven't got any. They ain't got a package.
This section was sponsored by Lorehammer.
Smooth podcast. In front like Ken.
Smooth in front. No booty as well, actually. If you're looking at it.
Oh, God, look at this.
There's no real booty there, to be honest. Very unfortunate for the orcs.
So, yeah, we didn't really understand that question, but we have a couple of different people asking a couple of different things about orcs.
Hit me.
So, how do I play orcs for an extended elite campaign? Ooh. How would you play? So, what are the elite units that orcs get for campaign? For elite,
sorry. Flash gets.
Is that the only thing? Because my thing would be, obviously, we haven't done a campaign in a while, and we definitely haven't done an elites campaign. So my thing would be looking at who your best specialists could be, and what you want to look at that skill tree.
Yeah, I mean, we don't deal with anything past level 1. Really,
Exactly.
do we?
But that's where, when you're looking at campaigns and stuff, also I would stick to using, just in campaigns in general, seems quite beneficial to use as many units as you can that cover in one fire team.
Fire teams.
Yeah.
Because
Rank them all up.
so with the orcs, you might be able to answer this without looking. In terms of orc boys and things like that, and burner boys, is that 2 different data sheets?
Yeah.
That's not just a boy with a different weapon.
No, burner boys are separate to orc boys.
Yeah. See, so I'd probably go heavy on the boys. What are the different weapon options for boys?
Shooter or
Chopper.
So you can go stabby or shooty.
yeah.
I'd load up on boys, mate. And I've never
Yeah.
played as orcs, but that's what I'd do.
That's the
Big
way to
fire
go.
team
Just
of boys.
Just
get
throw
them
in,
leveling
throw
up.
in all the choppers.
The
Just
knobs
what-
as well. You can get a
Well,
couple
I
of
say
knobs at
throwing all the
125.
choppers with the
That'd be
new
rude, Toby.
with some of the new perks and stuff. You can do a bit better with the shooty ones, but
Yeah.
yeah, and a load of grots. Now that I've got the grots, I think you can easily rack up just 20 bodies.
Yeah,
in
I
that list.
suppose there'd be a little fire team as well, right?
Yeah,
That'd be
Grot
cool.
fight at level 10, grot fight.
Yeah, you can just level them up,
Stacked.
get a load of stuff.
Hitting a wound on 2s, hitting on 2s.
what I was thinking I'd do, because I usually run like the 4 burners as much as I can. Replace 2 of the burners with 1 flash git because they're pretty disgusting.
Yeah, are they good? Because we haven't really
Yeah.
experienced them.
No, I'll get them. Hopefully next time I play them, we'll have them. But so they're actually weapon skill or ballistic skill 4. But so you can be hitting on if you give them the Git Finder Squig, add 1 to hit rolls for shooting attacks. So you can be hitting on 3s, which for orcs is mental.
That's good.
Strength
That is pretty mental, actually.
They're strength 5 base, 2 wounds, 3 attacks, and they actually have a 4-up save.
Not bad.
Also, any of them that shoot, after it's shot in the shooting phase, roll a d6, and on a 6, that model can immediately shoot again, but only at the nearest enemy model.
It's pretty good.
So, though, remember in a campaign, you only start with 12 models on your command roster. So would you
Yes.
write a 12 model list and just start with that
Yeah, I think I'd take
and then
one.
build up on it as you
It's
go?
more...
Because you can add as many as you want after that.
Yeah, it would be
So-
more reliable than, especially the way my experience, more reliable than the burners
Yeah.
because they just get... They
They're
get the
priority
6-up
target, aren't they?
6-up save as
Yeah.
well. They're just
Scary.
yeah, you can also get...
Whereas if
take-
you got some burners and a flash gear, I'm
yeah.
like, I don't know
think
what one I
You'd
want.
only take 1 flash gear. I think they're 24 points, so it's quite
Yeah.
Quite the
hefty.
investment.
It'll be
worth to have
125
one.
points though, remember? Not 100
Yeah.
points.
Plus only
Yeah,
12
true.
models, you could probably
Yeah.
fit.
Or even
Yeah.
having 2 of them, yeah, you still get a hell of a lot. I mean, the grots are 3 points each.
And what comes in, ties in nicely to the next question of what is the best orc clan culture? So for a campaign, what one would you take? And is this the one that you think is the best one?
Oh, I've only used them once for the clan, but I thought the Death Skull's Lucky Blue Gits one was perfect. because-
If I remember rightly, it sounded pretty tasty.
You just
So you
kept
get-
reading.
Yeah,
Just
you
a
get-
lot of words.
It was just you're just like one sentence, and I was like, "That's cool," and then you're like, "And," then another sentence. I was like, "Yeah, that's okay. That's really cool." And
So you get a 6-up invuln save, which is brilliant because you normally only just have a 6-up save and rarely ever get to use that. So at least now you actually get a save, even if it is just a 6. You can also reroll a single failed hit roll and a single failed wound roll in each phase, as long as the attack was made by a model in your kill team.
pretty good.
Again, for the orcs as well, if you take a little hit and you miss that shot, you take another one.
Yeah.
And it's each phase, so
Any one of these kind of sub-faction things that gives you a little extra reroll here and there.
Oh, it's so good.
That's like literally just saving command points
Yeah.
left, right, and centre.
if you want to go shooty, all shooty army, take bad moons and reroll 1s.
Especially orcs, because they tend to need the tactics and stratagems to be that little bit extra competitive. So saving those command points for those tactics rather than spending them on rerolls.
Yeah.
Solid.
Better.
Yeah. And then I think we had one more little question. Kind of covered it already in a way. They all sort of tied in with each other, which I didn't realise. But what are the best orc units? Pretty straightforward. Other than grots, what would you say?
You love a burner, didn't you? You
love a
love
burner.
a burner.
So good. If you can get the burners in, because they're even good in combat as well.
Yeah, that's a pretty unique thing, isn't it? Because normally a burner is a burner, and that, someone with a flamer, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't normally also have a close combat weapon, whereas a burner boy, what's the... So do they use the flamer in close combat?
He's making creme brulee.
Oh, yeah. That was way better than mine.
Yeah, so
Without you, it wouldn't exist.
so it's strength user, so strength 4, but then it's -2 AP,
That's not
1
bad,
damage.
is it?
But yeah,
So what if you put... I don't think you've done this. I don't know if it'd be a waste of a slot, but what if you made a burner boy your zealot specialist?
Ooh, can you do that?
Can they be a zealot specialist?
They can be a zealot specialist.
So now all of a sudden, if you're charging, although I suppose really you want to be charged when you've got the flamer, but if you're charging, you're up in that strength and you're getting an extra attack. So now you're strength 5.
3 attacks.
So you're wounding Marines on 3s all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's
Which is
just
pretty nice.
tasty.
It'd be worth just dropping one on the roster, just like
Yeah.
just in case,
But as we said, you haven't used flash kits yet.
No,
But you
and they
like the
look
look of
really,
them too.
really tasty.
And they've got pirate hats.
They do have pirate hats also.
Yeah, the captain.
Pretty sick.
He'll be in there. Captain, don't know, Captain Crump or
They're
something.
Crumpton.
Crumpton. Down. That's how
So
we
we
get
got-
the names.
How do we come up with the names? That's how we come up with the names.
Crumpton frag bomb.
There we go. So that's all. That's how we come up with names. Right. So magically, Andrew has appeared and Reese has disappeared.
Yeah. Don't even
mention it.
I'm not even gonna mention
They won't notice. They won't notice.
We'll just be like,
Even
so
me.
Reese.
We'll just say Reese is just taking his hat off. That's all it is.
Even me, when I'm listening to the podcast, I don't know who's talking.
Yeah.
I know, I can tell your voice.
Yeah, but everyone else
Everybody else is like,
blurs
probably one of them.
blurs into one. Well, you know it's me because you picture Jay from the In-Betweeners, apparently, according to the internet. So
somebody said I sound like Will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we
I'm
are
okay with that.
We
I'm
are.
okay with that.
I think
Be well spoken.
I think people just hear
Yeah,
people just
I'm
hear
cool with
someone that's well spoken and it's like you're Will.
Oh, he must be a posh fuck.
You're Will. So we got a couple of questions that basically we did our Q&A and there was some rules questions in there. And then a day later, again, the second time this has happened, by the way, they released the FAQ. And some of the rules questions that we had still the same answer replies, but just to be safe, we're just going to go over them again now that we've read through the FAQs and things like that. Also, we have Andrew here who's probably better at rules than us, I think. You're our go-to. If we're at a tournament and someone's arguing, we just scream, Andrew, and then you appear. And back us up or say that we're wrong or whatever.
I'm quite good at rules when I'm not playing the game, but as soon as I have that pressure, I'm like,
then it's
I've
out the
forgotten.
window.
I'd be like, sure, you can do that.
that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got like five questions that we need to that people have sent in that I believe I know the answer to, but happy to discuss with everyone. So first one is one that I don't think has changed since the first time we recorded it, but going back anyway. And someone asked, can you open a door in arena during cult ambush?
We said no.
We said no. I still think no.
No.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's after a normal move.
I don't think it's necessarily after a normal move.
Get me my book. No, okay. So
Tensions rise.
Right.
This is why we've
Let's do
re-recorded it.
Okay. So my
believe-
understanding is that you can open a door or attempt to open a door after a normal move. The reason that doesn't, so that's why it works for a veteran.
Yep.
Because you can make a normal move or advance, which is fine. However, the reason it doesn't work for Call to Ambush is
It's
'cause you
not
are-
a normal move.
No, you move
It's
6
yeah,
inches.
it states you move, which
6
I think is the same conclusion we came to before.
But then Joe's just flipping the script.
Well,
We also said this.
Oh, okay.
What Joe is about to say.
Okay, well, no,
Okay.
I can. So it states under the doors thing. Obviously, there's a slight amendment to the doors rule in the FAQ that doesn't affect this. It's to do with opening doors. But it says an infantry model can open a closed door or close an open door if it either starts the movement phase within 1 inch of that doorway and remains stationary that phase, or if it ends a normal move within 1 inch of a doorway. So yeah, okay. So the movement phase
Is for starting.
specificity
Yeah,
is when you're starting.
Yeah.
When you're not moving. So okay, yeah. So fair enough. But then it is end a normal move within 1 inch of a doorway, and there are no enemy models within 1 inch of that doorway. So still no. Just different reasoning. Yeah, so I never picked up that. Just reading it now, obviously, after you've said, it does make sense that the movement phase part is just when you're staying still.
Yeah.
But if you make a normal move outside of the movement phase,
Then it's fine.
then
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
fine. Cult ambush, still no.
Correct.
Not
Yep.
a normal
Correct.
move.
Not a normal
So
move.
what is the cult ambush rule with regards to movement? What does it say you do?
So before the first battle round,
Yeah.
you roll a d6 for each member of the cult that is eligible,
Yeah.
which is everyone. And then on a 5-up, you can move 5 inches.
So it just says move 5 inches.
It just says move 5 inches.
You're-
Yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not a normal move.
No.
So you can't open a door. Done. So still worth revisiting though, because my understanding of that was different, even if the answer was the same. Next up, we had one that did kind of change. Can you use metabolic overdrive after charging or after coming in from reserve? So I don't know, was the original wording of this just after a move, and they changed it to be normal move, I believe. Is that correct from your understanding? Tyranids player of the
Yeah, 'cause
podcast?
we had this the other day when we've recorded a game with Tyranids that isn't coming out yet.
Yeah, isn't that? Yeah.
I tried to bring in something from reserves and then metabolic overdrive him,
Yeah.
but we said we couldn't because if I get the wording up, then
In the reserves rule, it specifically states
Yeah, so
that
there's two
you
reasons.
cannot make another move.
Yeah, so there's two reasons
That's
for that.
right.
So specifically, like you said, the reserves rule says no, but also now metabolic overdrive itself says that you can only do it after a normal move. So
Right.
it's the same kind of wording as before, where it's like specifically after a normal move, then you can play this tactic.
yeah,
So coming in from reserve, regardless, wouldn't be considered a normal move,
no,
right?
Yeah.
no.
You count as having moved, but
yeah,
it's not.
Yeah.
but you haven't made a normal move.
Yeah.
But I guess just to clear that up as well, in the reserve rules, it just straight up says nope. So there's not much confusion there. But with regards to charging and things like that, I think that is the difference that they made. So do you still have? I think we have the book. Is it in elites or is it in?
Oh, it's normal.
Yeah, normal.
So then, wasn't it Metabolic Overdrive that they actually released the second version in the kill team set,
Yes.
or was it another one? I think it was Metabolic
Oh, what?
Overdrive.
So
yeah,
the-
they
so
changed the wording in.
So they changed
the
it
set.
already
Yeah,
and then changed it again.
yeah. So it's
So
they
let's have a
changed it
look
3
at
times.
let's have a look at the original. If I can
If
find
only
it.
they could
That's a
change some
picture.
rules we actually cared about.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So the original in the rule book, it says use this tactic in the movement phase after a moving model from your kill team. After moving a model from your kill team, you can make a second move with that model. But if you do, the model cannot shoot this battle round. In addition, roll a d6 on a 1. The model suffers 1 mortal wound. So that, to me, as it used to be, you could do any variation of a move, right? It literally just says
Charge and charge.
after moving a model, you
make a
can
second.
move it again.
Yeah.
So,
Which I think is why in that.
so I don't know what the second variation was that you just
I can't
mentioned because we
remember.
don't have that. But the new version states
Normal.
normal move after making a normal move. I think, does it, I'll just get it up again quick because I don't know whether it says normal move for both things. I think it's after normal.
The second time round is definitely a normal move.
Oh, okay. So it should both be then. Let's have a look. Loads of dead air, silence, nothing to say. Here we go. Uses tactic in the movement phase after making a normal move. So that's the big one. With a model from your kill team, you can make a second normal move. So there you go, flat out. So metabolic overdrive, you can make a normal move and then you can make another normal move. No charging, no advancing, things like that.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what that second version, if anyone has the card, because we didn't get the Tyranids box, I don't think, did we?
No, we didn't.
Is that what you said it was in, the Tyranid box?
Yeah. The writhing.
So if anyone's listening, wants to drop a comment and let us know what the wording of that was, that'd be cool. Then we had... when you fall out of combat with a model, what stops them from shooting you? This is a bit of a double question, but we'll start with that one. So nothing.
Nothing. That's a I don't know why that's.
Yeah, I don't know why that's nothing stops them from shooting you. If you fall out of combat with them,
you have two options: you can move or you can shoot.
Yeah. So that person, I guess you could say, what would stop them from shooting you is if they then move. Because if they fall
that's true.
back, if they then move, it's a fall back.
Yep.
Which would mean they can't shoot you. But if you just fall back from them and they're just looking at you,
Fire away.
they can just shoot you.
Yeah.
So, and you can't shoot them unless you're flying,
Yeah.
unless you can fly. So, but the second part of that is, and if they start their movement phase after someone has fallen back from them, can they move / do anything? So it's kind of what we just covered was
They can move.
they can move or shoot. If they stay still, they can still shoot. They can shoot anything as well. They don't have to shoot the thing that fell back from them. Or they can fall back, which is effectively the same as making a normal move, except not for rules purposes. It's not called a normal move. But falling back, you just get to move your normal move characteristic.
Yep.
But you class as having fallen back, and you, again, if you can fly, you can then shoot, right? Even in that case,
Pass.
you don't know.
I'd have to read the fly rule. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I
I'd
think
have
you
to read the
can.
fly
I
rule.
think if you
I would assume
if you can
so.
fly, it's still just a fallback. So if you can fly, you can shoot. But yeah, it's a bit of a complicated question for something that it doesn't really exist. If that makes sense. Like,
I'm not
it's-
100% sure about that. though.
no,
So
what falling back?
if you started the round within an inch, you have fly, someone fell back from you,
And then you fall back because that's what your movement
because your
would be.
move has to be a fallback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I
Then
guess
you can still shoot.
Yeah,
I
I guess
guess,
the fly rule
yeah.
is you can still shoot after you have fallen back.
Hmm.
So if what you're doing is falling back,
unless it specifically says.
I can't remember what the fallback rules are.
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. So it's a tough one, but I think that's still fine. Like, I don't see any reason why that wouldn't be. But I'm happy to be proven wrong on that one. We don't really use. I think us personally. I know we've got some jump pack guys on the board there, but we don't really
they're
use
few and far, aren't they? The
flying stuff
yeah.
that much in Kill Team anyway. So it never really comes into consideration for us. Here's one I think I know, but I don't definitely know, so I'll put it to all of you guys. Can a heavy specialist using a transuranic arquebus move and shoot? So that's the AdMech big
No.
boy gun. I would say no also. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
Yeah, I
good. You look like you're
double
gonna
checked the rules. I double checked the rules.
You look like you're
we
gonna
definitely
disagree.
can't. Definitely can't.
So I didn't check this one. I just thought that I knew it. So I would assume it's because the heavy specialism allows you to fire a heavy weapon without the modifier, right?
Yeah, basically.
But the weapon in question
Yeah.
does
Says you
not
cannot
let you
fire.
fire
Yeah,
if it
yeah.
moves.
No, the
It's not a
weapon
modifier.
profile
No.
specifically says if you move, you cannot shoot this weapon.
Yeah, if it said you get -4 to your shooting,
Yeah, then you would ignore it.
then you would ignore it and it would be fine.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
just flat out says you cannot do this.
It's
So-
very big.
Yeah, yeah, you can't. Yeah. And then have you got one over there?
I have.
Yeah.
Lovely. Maybe we'll do a little zoom up shot of that just so everyone knows
You're
knows
not going to.
what we're
are you?
talking about.
You're not actually going to.
It's got a small stick propping it up. You can't move.
No, I think that's just more things that I say that I'm going to edit in that I don't.
Editing's a lot of hassle.
Then the last one is something that was addressed in the FAQ. So what are the limitations, kind of half addressed. What are the limitations when choosing multi-charge targets? So this is another question with a few different questions in it. So I don't think there are any, right?
You could declare everything.
I can declare
Within
everything on the
12
board.
inches. Yeah.
That's within 12 inches.
Yeah.
And then as long as I make it into one of you, then I'm in.
Yeah.
Like that's it. But you can
They all
but
get
the
to
reason
react.
you wouldn't want to do that is they all get to react. Yeah.
Unless
So-
they all have no guns.
So if you realistically couldn't get into combat with all of them, there's 0 point in declaring them because, unless you are maybe trying one that's really far, but then there's one on a little bit closer.
Yeah, just in case.
But it's the risk of it's the risk of being giving more opportunities for Overwatch, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's that part of it. Do they have to be within a certain distance of each other? Nope. They just have to be within a certain distance of you, within 12 inches. If you only make it to one target, this is the thing that's been clarified. So if you only make it to one target on the charge, can you pile into the second one and still attack it? Do you know the answer to this one?
I do know the answer. Do you?
I think I do.
It's an easy one.
Yeah, well,
Because
I
the
think
FAQ just outright says it, which I think was actually a really good thing they clarified.
yeah. So
Because
this is
I've
one
heard
of
lots of
the
people say
answer's
that.
no. You can't. This is one of the rare things that I think they actually did do a really good job of clarifying, and it needed clarifying, and they did it, and they clarified it, and everyone can
done.
understand it now.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, we were having a conversation about the FAQ before this and how some of the things in there are things that I've never seen anyone be confused about. Like,
Correct.
uh,
Pistols.
yeah,
that
that's
was
one of
weird.
the specific
That was
ones
weird.
that we were talking
And
about.
the broken.
The one about
one,
being broken,
like the
where
just
it's
do
like,
maths.
yeah, it's just maths. There's
you
there's
work
a
out
question.
half?
Yeah, there's a question: is how do you work out half? How do you work out what you need to be broken if your
if you've
kill
got
team's
an
like
odd
an odd
number.
number? Well, you need more than half, so you need more than half. It doesn't
That was
change.
a weird
like,
one, yeah.
So they answer a lot of rubbish like that. So it's nice to see sometimes, and also sometimes when they answer stuff like this, they make it more confusing, or they don't answer
The wording's
it properly.
bad and
Whereas the
things like that.
answer of this is literally no. So there's no, you can't get around it. No. So that's the answer. That's actually something that we did wrong on the 4-way match. We did that wrong, or I did that wrong, because I multi-charged and then piled into something.
Well, that's how a lot of people thought it was meant to be played. If
I
you
thought that was
declared it
okay,
as a target, even if you didn't get to it, people thought you could still then pile in and get the attack.
Because I think technically, the other confusing thing actually is that even though they've answered it like that, I still think technically reading the rules, you can. If that's not the intention, then that's fine. And they're saying you can't. But it doesn't seem like there's anything in the rules that stops you.
Well, no, because you failed the charge. Because for it to count as a successful charge, you have to end the movement within 1 inch of it. Every model you declared as a member of the charge without ending within 1 inch counts as a failed charge.
Yeah,
Well,
okay.
you didn't charge that.
I guess that's probably the wording that you're supposed to take from it. But when I was reading it, I didn't get that.
No,
You know what I mean?
it's a weird rule as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it is kind of overpowered if you play it the way that I played it in that, or like it is a bit. I don't know, because it kind of like
It gives you
almost-
a 15-inch charge, potentially.
Yeah.
Right.
pretty much. Yeah.
Or for 16
Because-
inches, 15 and a half inches.
Or Harlequins even more,
Yeah.
which is what I was using. so it is pretty
Disgusting.
overpowered. So again, to quote the FAQ, no. That is the official answer, and that's all the rules questions that we had. The rest of it was all just questions about us and stuff that the FAQ does not change.
Oh, well, maybe
Joe.
I can pitch a rules question to you guys.
Oh, you can go for it. Yeah, go for it.
So you haven't had any chance to look up for this. This
Yeah,
might just
yeah,
lead to a
okay.
lot
Yeah,
of
this
dead
is-
air. Okay.
Actually,
So-
didn't we say one? There was one that we were talking about earlier that we were like, let's
okay.
just
Oh,
sprint that
the
in as
doors
well.
one.
Oh, okay. We'll get to
Arena.
that in a sec. Yeah, we'll get to that in a sec.
I'm sure I know the question, but okay. Okay, so
Let's hear this.
So failed rerolls.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You know what I'm about to ask?
I think so.
I think so.
Okay, so there are a bunch of different rules that specifically state you can reroll a failed roll.
Mm-hmm.
Let's take salamanders as a nice, easy example. It allows you to reroll a failed hit roll or wound roll. But ignore the wound roll. We don't care about that in this. Once per phase.
Yeah.
Okay. Failed hit roll. You have a marine with a ballistic skill of 3.
Correct.
Okay. Your opponent,
So he hits on freeze up.
3's up.
Yeah.
So you fire at somebody that is long range and obscured. So you're then hitting on 5.
Fives.
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you roll a 3, do you get to re-roll that dice?
I would say no.
Okay. Guys.
It depends on the wording of the salamanders thing.
The salamanders thing is fouled hits.
failed
right?
hits.
If it's failed hits, then I say no,
No, you can't reroll it.
Yeah, because the
the 3 is not a fail.
Okay.
because the 3 is a hit,
It's a hit
Until
because
the
before
modifiers.
but
modifiers.
it's modified. So you do the re-rolls before the modifiers.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
correct? That's correct for 40k.
Yeah.
But saying that, is that pointed out anywhere in Kill Team ever?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Yeah. But no, there was a lot of debate about that.
Yeah.
And obviously it hasn't been addressed at all in the FAQ.
We
But yeah, that is
yeah, see
how,
what I mean?
that
That's
is
like
how
a,
it's
that's
played.
like a
Yeah.
normal
That
thing
did
people...
come up in one of our
the game
the last
me
game.
and Toby just recorded.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Thing, he got to re-roll something.
Yeah.
Oh, and we
He
needed
got
to
to re-roll
specify
failed.
whether it was failed or
Or
all or
Yeah,
anything like
and
that.
that
yeah.
one was failed ones, wasn't it?
Yes.
So it was.
So that's where it comes in quite interesting because obviously that's failed hits.
Yes,
But if it
yeah.
lets you re-roll all
Just hits.
or re-roll hits, then the modifiers don't really make much
Mm.
difference because you can re-roll the successful ones too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tactical
So-
reroll not affected at all.
Yeah. So
Because
if it
that's
just
a
says,
reroll.
but even if you have a rule that doesn't specifically say
failed.
re-roll failed hits,
Yeah,
if it
yeah,
just
yeah.
says re-roll hits,
That's fine.
or
That's
then
fine.
you can re-roll whatever you want. But yeah, failed.
Again,
it needs to.
You had within that army that Toby was using, he had two things. He had that, and one of them could re-roll just all wounds or something.
Yeah.
We were rolling wounds, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
we
I
had the
believe-
Just
double
re-rolling wounds.
Gene-Stealer Cult's Pauper Princes are reroll failed hits, right?
It is failed hits, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so obviously with your big fighters, with the rock cutters that are -1, you aren't getting to reroll all of those.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, that was
Yeah,
an easy one for you
That was a
guys.
pretty interesting
It's an
one.
easy
So we got
one,
one
okay.
for you.
Oh, no.
So this was something that got they brought up to me that I'd never even thought about because I haven't played much Arena at all really. I've played Arena on this podcast and that was it. So I think I spoke to you about like elites in Arena and that's completely fine, right?
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
just
that's
like
fine.
a thing that happens.
Yeah.
So dropping in reserves.
Oh, this
In
isn't
Arena.
the question I was
Infiltrating.
expecting.
Okay.
Okay.
So can you do that still in Arena? For a start.
So first, reinforcements,
Yeah.
they're not allowed in Arena.
Okay.
Are they?
Okay.
Don't know.
That's what we were asking.
So we don't play enough arena.
Yeah, no, I think it's specifically...
Does it
Why do I
specifically
think that?
Yeah. Is it in the reinforcement rule maybe?
I feel like it's possible that I'm saying that because that is how Nova played it, like the
Okay.
recent tournament. And I'm
But
just
did they
taking-
play it because of the question we're about to ask you?
Yeah.
Because
Because if you can
No, so okay, my understanding, and I can't tell you why I think this, is that you're not allowed to, use any of your deep strikes. You can't do any of that. However, there are some models in the Space Marine list that have forward deployment. You are allowed to do that because that's not a deep strike of any sort. That's just you get to do.
I have the answer to your question.
Oh, okay.
Here in the Elites book, in the reserves rule, the rules found here can be used in any game of Kill Team with the exception of missions that use ultra close confines rules. So you cannot use reserves in arena.
There you go.
So that's
So, slight tweak to our question.
All right.
Using your example of
Okay.
the new Space Marine.
Yeah.
So you don't measure distance
Yeah.
through walls,
Correct.
which means taking
having-
forward positions,
Yep.
you could be well within 5 inches.
technically,
Okay.
but if there's a wall between you,
Yeah.
So nobody knows.
so you don't measure.
It's a very...
But you don't measure distance through walls, right?
No.
So
No. So the question becomes: when you are deploying, do you count doors as open or closed? That's the question.
Yeah.
And there is no answer anywhere.
yeah.
So it's up to the
So
TO
does a
to
door?
say.
Does a closed door still
Counts as a wall.
Also counts as a wall,
Effectively.
blocks the thing.
But yeah, you can't.
So you could end up with someone on one side of the wall,
within an inch blocking
within
the door.
an inch blocking the door,
Yep.
and then go up to the other side of the wall.
Yep.
Because you don't measure through it.
Correct.
It's a confusing one.
Yep.
It's a confusing one. Yeah. So
But we put it out there now.
I mean, our main question was literally just answered in the reserves rule of elite. So shows how much.
That was a nice easy one. I like
So it
that.
shows how much we read, which we don't. So yeah, is there any others that anyone wants to just bring up and discuss while we're here talking about rules? I don't think I have any.
Oh, I can't think of any.
Oh, I know one.
Yep.
You might not know this,
Okay.
but
Vote of confidence for me there, wasn't it?
there's something to do. There's something to do. Something to do with what was the GNC, the cold ignore damage thing?
Oh, bestial vigor.
Yes. So, what book is that in? How is that? I want to see how that's
So
worded.
that is just in
Core
the core
rules.
rules
Yeah.
under the aberrant section.
Are you about to ask if it takes because that was FAQ? That was
yeah.
answered
So that
once.
was
Is that the question?
FAQ'd. So what I
Oh,
want to
okay.
no that. So what I want to ask is because I didn't actually have a look. So how does that? Does this reduce the injury roll amount, but maybe disgustingly resilient doesn't? Because if you put 3 damage on a plague marine and he saves 2 disgustingly resilience,
So I can answer that,
okay,
but I don't know if I have a follow up answer for bestial vigor.
okay.
I can potentially cover that.
Okay.
I'm
So go for it.
imagining. Yeah, let's double team it.
Yeah,
Double team
okay,
it, go for
okay.
it.
So the reason that your disgustingly resilient still goes through at its full damage is because you are rolling 1 dice per damage that goes through, right?
Yeah,
And so, fluff wise, what's happening is you are still taking the hit.
but
But
then
if you get hit at all, you are taking that full las cannon shot.
yeah.
Right? If you're not, then obviously you don't. I kind of fell at that last hurdle, but you get the point of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think it's because I'm trying to find the wording of the. Okay, so what is it? Bestial vigor. When inflicting damage on this model, reduce the damage of the attack by 1 to a minimum of 1.
That sounds easy enough, doesn't it?
Yeah. So then, what got FAQ'd was the injury roll
It reduces.
also gets
Yeah.
reduced the amount of thing.
Okay.
So if a
Well, you're reducing the damage.
Of
Yeah.
the attack,
so
specifically.
specifically the attack has less damage.
Yeah.
So that's the difference. That's why you don't get it on disgusting resilient, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was something that we started talking about, and then I think you knocked, and we didn't
Oh,
we didn't
okay,
get
right.
finished to talk about because I was like eyeing up a little perk to Death Guard instantly.
You were like,
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, while we're here,
Mm-hmm.
so I thought, and I'm only asking this because the rules are quite clear, but I thought you guys were going to ask me this question about doors.
okay,
Oh, okay.
So
throw it out there.
doors. Again, I'm sure you play this correctly, of course, because you're consummate professionals.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So there's an enemy model within 1 inch of a closed door.
Mm-hmm.
You move up to that door.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you get to open that door?
Now you don't, right?
Why do you say now?
Because it was in the
FAQ.
FAQ that if there's an enemy. Oh no, wait. Could you not anyway? Because
No.
you'd end up within an inch of the model.
Oh no,
When
it
it
has nothing
opens.
to do with that.
Okay.
That's fine. You would just be in close combat if that happens. That's okay.
Yeah. Because I know there's like some kill zone rules and stuff where the door gets opened at the end.
yeah.
So if you're standing on either side of it, and the door gets open.
Yeah, it can be opened,
then
and
you're
then
just,
you are in
you're
combat.
just in combat. Yeah,
Yeah. And nobody's charged.
So what
which is
changed with the opening doors then? If
Nothing,
you
I
say,
don't
why do
think
you say no? Yeah, there was a...
weird. Okay, so it's an issue of contention
Okay.
because it's a crap rule. But
I
basically,
thought there wasn't there like a...
Can't you attempt to open it, but they get a roll?
Yeah,
right,
I thought,
sure, yeah. Okay.
I thought that was but they've gotten rid of that, haven't they?
No,
In the
that's
FAQ.
still there. That's still there. So if you are there, the way the rule is worded is that if you start your move within 1 inch of the door, and there is another enemy model on the other side of the door, then the enemy model gets to roll up. On a 5 up, you don't open the door.
Okay.
However,
If you move
that is
up to
only
it.
if you move up to it, because of the way it has been worded, and we're
Yeah.
pretty sure it was bad wording, but we don't know.
Yeah.
And because they didn't cover it in the latest FAQ, they didn't say anything. We have to assume they mean what they wrote.
Well, they've changed the first sentence, or the first sentence of the second paragraph of the doors rule has been
Okay.
changed.
Yeah, I don't think that's the bit that matters,
Okay.
which is why we're so confused.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically it says that because of the way it's worded, if you move up to it, you don't even get to attempt to open it,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
I think
Which is-
that's what's changed, or at least that's what I thought had changed. So
read it again?
The new sentence is an infantry or battle suit. So they've added battle suit.
They
in.
just added the word battle suit.
They
didn't
added the word
Yeah,
battle suit,
yeah.
but I've got the sentence here regardless. So, so I think we'd maybe done this wrong the entire time, and how it's actually supposed to be is what you just said, which is kind of crazy that you can't open it if you move up to it.
Thematically,
Terrible.
if you had a guy, if I was trying to open a door
Yeah.
on one side and I'm having a little go at it, you rock up on the other side, say at a run.
Yeah.
You run up to the other door. You're in the same situation as me that you don't massively know how to open it.
Sure.
The chances of you opening it before me are probably quite low.
Okay.
But if you hadn't and you were there spending some time looking at it, you probably would open it before me.
Maybe that could be the.
But
But
that's shit.
So the sentence is an infantry or battle suit model can open a closed door or close an open door if it either starts the movement phase within 1 inch of that door's doorway. So that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
So if you start within an inch of the doorway,
Yeah.
you can do either one.
Yeah.
And remain stationary that phase. Or if it ends a normal move within 1 inch of a doorway and there are no enemy models within 1 inch of that doorway.
so that straight up says, no, you can't.
Do you think they intend that to mean on your side of the doorway? For example, you can't do it while you're in combat.
I believe it continues on in the paragraph they haven't changed to say something that makes it a little bit contentious.
Ambiguous.
And people have argued that if you ignore the page break, then you can do what they've just said you can't do. But if you don't ignore the page break and read the actual words on the page,
Yeah.
then you can.
So
Yeah.
I have the book right here, luckily.
I didn't expect facts. Okay. Getting sweaty in here.
So remain stationary that phase. Yeah, so they have just added the word battle suit for the FAQ, which seems funny that there's a contentious part in this section, and they've gone to the effort of adding a bit to that section and
bad.
not address the rest of it, and that is the only thing that's changed in Arena.
Yeah.
So an infantry model can open a closed door or close an open door, blah, 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 blah. Obviously, we now know that's for battle suits as well. No only models within 1 inch of that doorway. A model cannot open or close the door if it is shaken, readied, or within 1 inch of enemy models. Yeah, so they clarify that, the point that I was just making, which is, do they maybe intend for that to mean on your side of the door, the 1 inch? They clarify that in a separate sentence anyway. So, so you can't do it while you're in combat. If there are any enemy models other than shaken models within 1 inch of the doorway of the door the model is trying to open or close, one can attempt to stop the door from being operated.
Okay.
If one does, the controlling player controlling the model trying to prevent that operation rolls a d6, and on a 5 up, they choose whether or not the door remains closed. So to me, that, or everything I just read about enemy models being within 1 inch of the doorway, I think that applies to the movement phase part.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
So the thing is, right, so there are some tactics, or, as we just discussed, the taking forward positions, where you could potentially start right next to the enemy, to the enemy's door.
And they have to move up to it.
move up, and then they don't even get to attempt to open it.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you do?
Yeah. Well, when we read it, we were like, so initially we read it as that you could always try and open a door.
Yeah.
Well,
that makes so much more sense.
Yeah. So whether you walk up to it or you stayed there or whatever,
it was
that's
just
how we
opposed.
always played it.
Yeah.
Listen to your video about it in the car.
Oh, faulty information, mate. Wouldn't go there for any of the rules.
I'd taken it away from that completely wrong. Like, you just can't. For some reason, I took it away that if there's an enemy on the other side, you now just can't even
try it at all. Yeah.
Oh no, well that's if you've moved. Yeah, that's correct.
That's
yeah.
But
I think he took it as like.
Even if
we
you
took it, as like all of a sudden you just couldn't.
Okay.
And we were like, so you can just lock people in. Yeah. That does make it a hell of a lot harder.
You can lock a drone in.
Yeah, you can lock a drone in.
True,
you can lock a drone in, but not a battle suit any longer. And there you go. Thank you so much for sending in your questions. We always love hearing from you guys and answering your questions, whether it's about rules or just about the podcast in general or anything else. It's a really fun part for us of the podcast is interacting with you guys. So once again, we want to do these more regular. So feel free to send some questions to us via email, chillteampod@gmail.com. You can also go to our contact form on the website, chillteam.co.uk, and you can reach us there with any questions for future Q&A episodes. We may actually have some news soon about how these types of episodes might be becoming more regular, and they might not be interrupting the existing battle reports. So we might have some news on that soon. We're trying to sort a lot of stuff to do with this podcast, basically, because it's growing quite a bit and we all enjoy doing it. So with that said, thank you so much for listening. Thanks once again to Versatile Terrain for sponsoring the podcast and this episode. And I'll see you on the next one.